was thinking, you work. Okay, and we're live.
And we're live.
Well,
unplugged wires, Kerem. They make me nervous when I see unplugged wires. Oh, for the other phone.
That's for the second phone.
I'm not going to carry on saying that story because I probably want to work there again.
Yeah. But just odd, just to give a background, I'm going to talk around it. Basically, Charles was being yelled at by a colleague in a job because he was doing well and the other person thought that they were the person that does well. Theo is going to eat the M&M peanuts.
We have M&M
you don't have to chew them right to the mic, though. But yeah, it was just the fact that, well, clearly, demonstrably, sir, you are not the top seller fam.
Yeah.
If you are, then the facts and figures. But we live in a post-truth.
I'm assuming that guy's in prison now.
Yeah, true. I haven't seen him for a while, actually.
Yeah, so he doesn't work at the place that you work at.
Yeah, no, I don't.
We're not talking about.
I don't think he does anymore. No.
Work,
I remember that.
I refuse to allow work to go hand in hand with sort of misery. I'm in the mindset of the job is something you should enjoy.
Yeah.
And I don't care the way the system works. Just work. No, well, then you fucked up. Make something where it's not. I've got to go work.
That's what I think the thing about sort of working hard and being kind of conscientious in your job. You don't have to be like, all hail whatever the name of the job is. All hail shoe shop or all hail whoever. But if you're just there going, fucking work, fucking, and moaning about it, you're just creating the misery. If you just go, if it's just like, get on with it.
Jobs, but
yeah, of course there are. Most jobs are miserable. That's why they're called jobs.
I remember when I landed in America.
But you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I remember when I landed in America for the first time, and I was looking at all the sort of what the people do in the airplane, moving.
Is this before you had your irrational fear of planes?
Oh no, I've always had that.
Okay,
but so when I got,
it's quite rational, actually. They're
yes.
No, but you're like,
they're an abomination.
They're an abomination.
You shouldn't be up there.
I don't want anything where I can't just pull over to the sides of the road if there's an accident. If there's a mechanical fault and death,
yes.
I'm not taking a risk. What's that? Doesn't make any sense. I'm not desperate.
But still, that it's the safest way to travel.
If I'm going over there to pick up a lottery win, I'll risk it.
Yeah.
But other than that, why am I risking my life? No, I'm not being funny, but the accident just happened with that Kobe Bryant with the helicopter. It's terrible. It's terrible. But I wouldn't get you'd have to get into the thousands of pounds before I'd get into a helicopter, because it's not even.
Yeah, but for him it's millions, isn't it?
No, mate, but it's not even at the safety level of a plane.
Yeah.
So
helicopters do make me nervous. I always feel they're a bit like light aircraft. I always feel that you always seem to hear about helicopter crashes and light aircraft crashes far more than jumbo jets.
My grandpa was an aeronautical engineer.
Yeah.
For BEA and BEA for a very long time, for most of his career after the war, and he always said, be very careful. He said, don't get it. In fact, he said, never get on a helicopter, never get on a private plane. He goes, because basically, with passenger aircraft, the safety standards are very high. You have very good teams. You have lots of checks.
There's a lot to lose.
Yeah, and there's a lot to lose. There's big companies, and it looks very bad when things go wrong. So they do have very stringent safety structures and stuff. Whereas private planes, you don't know who the hell's servicing it.
Well, it was
checking it.
It was like with the footballer Emiliano Sala. The plane he got on because he chartered a private plane. I mean, there's quite a dispute, which probably won't have time to get in. It would take up the whole podcast. But he basically chartered his own private, little propeller plane to fly him from France. Well, I think the plane was from the Channel Islands, but I think he flew from France because I think whatever it was. Hold on, I'm just going to lean back like the rap song says. That was probably a real treat for the listeners. Just me going.
Doing an old man.
He wasn't stretching. You were
I wasn't, or doing anything else. In fact, frankly, but yeah, they were saying this plane was not. But it's just because it's the guy's own private plane. There's less regulation. Any kind of plane in that, from what I gather. It wouldn't be allowed to fly in that condition. Like there was all sorts. It basically failed its plane MOT, but because it's a private plane and everything like that, it wasn't.
But it's just, especially with helicopters, to exaggerate them.
Well, there was the Leicester City owner, wasn't there?
I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah.
So Leicester City Football Club. This was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. They recently had the anniversary, didn't they? So he always used to fly in and out of the stadium on his helicopter.
He used to fly from the pitch, didn't he?
Yeah, land on the pitch and then drop him off and then fly. But the thing was, he he did bring great success to the club, and then that did have a massive impact on the local community. He was involved in community project. You know, it wasn't just some guy who just turned up, you know, to say, "Hey, look at
the helicopter didn't care about that."
Yeah, the helicopter didn't. Yeah, the helicopter, but it was the fact that, yeah. But he, they crashed off after. So they played a game, and as usual, the helicopter came to pick him up on the pitch. Fortunately, no one, because that was a great fear. Because obviously, when things happen, you go, "Oh God," you wonder you don't know what quite the scale of it was. So there was initially a big fear of like, "Oh my God, there must have been people in the stadium if it crashed in the stadium," because he just said that the helicopters crashed. So if it was, depending on how quickly people got out of the stadium, or there could have been people out in the ground, out in the car park, all that sort of thing. I do believe some of the players, because it was quite a bit after the game, so I think some of the players, the goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, saw it happen, where the helicopter came.
Well, there'll still be staff around as well. There's still security.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be, there's probably round the clock at a football stadium, I imagine, for trespassers.
Yeah, because you haven't got somebody going, "Well, I'm not doing," "Well, you didn't say that." You sort of work with people, you go, "Yeah, we're doing this thing." I said to him, talking about a podcast, I said, "I look forward to seeing them." I said, "It's not work." Oh, that was what it was.
That was nice. That gave me a fuzzy feeling.
It was when I was at the House of Commons. That was it, because the guy was asking me
House of Lords.
One of them. It was.
What's the one with the red chairs and
House of Lords?
Yeah, Lords.
But you were at Westminster Palace.
What's the cricket ground?
Lords. I mean, there's Lords. There's
is it Lords? Is it you? Or is it Lords?
Swedish Lords.
Is it Lords with the OUE or?
No, it is Lords. LOM.
Yeah, and they're saying, "How do you do that?" And I was trying to explain to him, because when I tell people like what I'm doing, you can see the sort of like, is he lying to me? Because this doesn't sound right. How can you have all these people doing and he said, I said, "No, it's not work." I said, "I make that time. It's like by forcing impact." There you go. Ulysses Impact, where I know
what pact?
Ulysses Impact. So I think of the future. I think there's going to be problems, because I know. So you have to be around people that are sort of friendly and that they understand things, and it's not just a job. It won't work otherwise, because problems are going to arise. I said, and he went, "Oh yeah, but you should have your relaxing time." And I was going, "Oh, you still don't get it. You're not listening to me."
Yeah, I feel this is my relaxing. This is almost my hobby.
Yeah, but it's work.
Yeah,
but it's not. But you go, "Well, you should have time." You go, "No, you still don't understand what I'm saying. You literally, the hiring process is, do I like this person first? The CV is that." Before you meet them, you have to go, "Okay, do they know what they're doing in that sort of thing?" That's all I look at. I'm not bothered about roughly what it is. Do you get on with them? Yeah, That's it. That's that's the big thing, because everything else now gets smoothened out.
Because you've got to think, as well, can I be in a room with this person for like sort of 7 or 8 hours a day? You know what I mean? And if it's just going to they're going to make your skin crawl.
But problems are going to arise, But you see, unless you're paying people, then they're only going to sit to what you've told them to do. If you go, "Look, we're all invested in this, we're all blah, blah, blah," all this simple stuff that sounds sort of hippie-ish, you go, "No, that's the biggest thing," because then everything else along the road becomes 10 times easier.
Yeah.
Although you've got people going, "Well, I'm not," I mean, it was stuff I've done before where, time-wise, "Well, I'm not being paid." And you go, "Well, for fuck's sake."
Any names?
No. But so basically, no. Yeah, I like to think of all the shitty jobs, and you think, if I just put my best mates around me there, that thing goes away. It's because you're miserable. That's what it is. It's the people, and sometimes you can't choose it.
No.
So then you move somewhere else where you are going to be happy. So just be. Yeah, I don't know what that point was.
Just be happy. Don't worry. Be happy.
Be happy. What was that advert? Be something. Be happy. No, it was a song.
Well, there's the song. Don't worry. Be happy.
Don't worry. Be happy. That was it. Well, worry. Don't be a...
Yeah, but it's also about not worrying. Like, there's only so much that worrying can achieve.
But I mean, there are some people, you are stuck in a situation. But like I've said to somebody last year, I was talking to them. It's okay to have a shit crap job, as long as you know it's working towards somewhere else. I said, I wouldn't give a fuck. I pulled up pissy floors in old people's homes, but it didn't matter, because I knew that no matter people take the piss of the shit job you've got, I'm actually doing it, so I don't have to do this in the future. For the other 40 years complaining about moaning, I haven't got any money, tax, and this, and living in a shit environment. So you can take the piss, but I'm doing something, knowing that at the end of the day when I go home
for a living, what's the problem?
Yeah, some people, it's funny, but I'm talking. It's just the notion of, especially young people as well. You say it's okay to have a shit job. It's actually quite good to have a shit job, because if you have something that's half decent and half not, If you have a sort of job that you it's okay, that will actually suck up you doing anything else because it's okay. Your life isn't too bad. You
get stuck in a rut quite easy, yeah.
But if it's just shit, if it's just completely utilitarian, I'm doing this shitty bricklaying job because I'm not doing this for the rest of my life because I'm using this. So in the evenings I can go and fund
it can be good
doing
motivator.
This. Yeah, but it's the middle one that's the difficult. When something comes along, it's a little bit of money and it's not great, but it's not bad.
Just enough money to live on,
to stop your ambitions.
And then you're like, then you end up.
So have a shit job, clean shoes, do fucking whatever. As long as you're earning money, as long as when you're in the weekends and evenings, you're doing your other thing, then that's fine, mate. If you want to be an actress, get a waitressing job. Use it as training yourself for auditions when you meet new people. It's fantastic. Yeah. Talk about personal development and all those things. When I realised, when I was in the midst of doing all the media stuff, but having to fucking pay bills still, and I had the shitty jobs, that were just from changing jobs week to week, from removal company to van driving and all that.
Always one step ahead of the tax man.
Yeah, I had to, because
no denial there.
I had to get up in the morning.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I had to get up in the mornings and still go to work around fucking morons. Well, sort of in my head, I've got Oscar Wilde,
and look what's changed.
So I shouldn't go into all, but yeah. So that's when I had to go. Right, how do I get through this day of putting up with such racist fucking people that can't speak properly, people that have got 4 syllable, and I would think I had to do experiments on them. I had to make it. No, that's a big thing. I had to. It's how I justified the years of I have to get through this day.
I was slowly poisoning several of them.
Yeah. No, it wasn't like it was all positive stuff.
The results
I was trying to just figure out human beings, so I just do various things and on myself as well. Everything to do with, and then it was amazing because the things I found out about people and myself in hard situations. That's when you put a flame to what your bullshit tells you. Because a lot of things can sound right till you put a flame to them. Oh, that doesn't work. It's all bullshit. It just sounds good. So just the things about society and I would try and introduce words into groups of people to see how far it would spread and what type of people it would spread to. And I was like amazed by you. I remember I started thinking, why do I always get up on the back of the tail lift on my right leg? Let me use my left leg. And then just training that part of my body.
Sorry, I missed that.
Getting on the back of tail lifts on vans.
What's a tail lift? Sorry.
It goes up and down at the back.
Okay, fine.
And I thought, right. And a weird thing happened. So we was doing going up and down stairs with removal companies, and so I was teaching myself breathing techniques to see which one would work the best because you're constantly going up and down. And there was one I thought, right, why do I always use my right leg when I go on the stair? And this is sort of pointless, honestly. But and I thought, right, why do I always end up on the right leg? Why do you never go, ooh? So I would start watching for when I was doing something and then go, right, and I go to turn and I go, right, I haven't thought about it. Let me just walk. And the right foot would always end up on the thing first. And I thought, well, I'm not judging it. So, but why does it always, I'm not staggering to get that right foot on. And I thought, right, from now on, I did this for about half a year. I'm only going to use my left leg to get on the tail lift or go up the stairs. It has to be the first, left leg first. And then I start we'd be talking somewhere, and then I'd go to walk, and I think, I haven't checked whether I'm so, and the left leg would go on.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I haven't staggered to get that left leg on, but I didn't make a decision back there to pattern my so I go, what the fuck's going on? I don't know is there something? Because I should stagger to try and. Oh no, I've got to put the left leg on first.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about it. So why is it now automatic? Where do I know that from there?
But that's just that's almost like, why am I breathing? How do I know to breathe?
No, I mean, I think it's a type of muscle memory, but no, I should still try and have to gauge to put my left leg on first if I've made the decision. How am I?
There's a part of
so odd.
There's a part of the brain that deals with spatial awareness when you're not looking at stuff. And I watched a documentary ages ago, and it freaked me out about people who basically they had some head injury or something wrong with their brain, so they couldn't judge what was going on if they weren't looking at stuff. Yeah. If they weren't directly seeing where their arms and limbs were, they couldn't judge where they would be or what they were potentially doing. So when they walked, they had to look down at their feet and literally study how their feet went. And every step they sort of had to judge kind of consciously because it wasn't.
Yeah, they're constantly knocking. I think it's peristalsis, something like that.
It was like not the automated response has gone, and in fact, in some extreme cases, like people, the regulatory things of like heat and breathing and stuff can be affected as well. Some people actually have to sort of try and consciously breathe, and then you just die basically.
If you listen to the neurologist,
so you hold on, sorry, sorry, I didn't mean to cut. It was just so these people actually to the extreme have to think.
It's amazing to think that because I always, like stuff about the brain, I was like fascinated by, like to realize that you're not a normal person, like you're so lucky that everything sort of fucking works, because it's not like something you just flip out of place, and then you realize, oh, I'm not me in my body. So things like what you said, there was a guy who was talking about heroin and a lot of the overdoses, apart from when you take too much. He said some people can get, if you get a really pure heroin dose, it's so strong and so relaxing that it overrides the need to breathe. Like, so you think about if you're drowning, well, even if you're drowning, you'll eventually take a breath, which is what then drowns you. Like your body will override, go, look, your carbon monoxide levels are going up. You need some air inside.
Which is so odd, isn't it?
But stupid body.
The heroin will be so strong that you just don't even care about the breathing. So you just die because you're not bothered about taking the breath in.
Too high. You're so
this was the oddest advert for heroin ever. Like in 1950s.
Yeah, but if you study like V.S. Ramachandran, he's a neurologist in America, I think Berkeley, and so he studies all the weird anomalies of it. He does a lot of the big speeches, and he did one for what's the Radio 4 every year. They have they do a 4-part speech from.
Oh, the lectures.
Lectures from
the Wreath lectures.
Wreath lectures, that's it. Yeah, and he did one of those. And anyway, so but if you study his thing, he talks about all the various things that are wrong. And they've got the phantom limb syndrome, where you can have pain in a limb that doesn't exist, and they have to put a mirror to reflect your own arm on there, and then the pain goes away because
they're showing you that
it's
not
saying
there.
It's fine, it's there. The body doesn't know there's a pain.
Hold on, sorry. So they're showing you the mirror as in...
So the famous one is 2 hands in front of you.
Yeah.
If you've got one hand missing, you can have pain in that missing hand.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So they put a mirror, like a mirror box.
I see, okay.
And you put your hand in the mirror box, and if you look down, you trick your brain into thinking the hand's still there.
Right.
Because the brain's saying the hand's not there, there must be a problem. Ow. Do something.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's one that, I can't remember the names, but there's the guy who can't see in the constant running film. He only sees in flashes of photography.
Okay, right.
So it's not a constant thing. But the problem is he can't judge distances because you're constantly going, how close am I to that if I put my hand out? He can only see there. Oh, no, I've knocked it over. Do you know what I mean? He can't judge a car coming down the road. There has to be no car, because if a car's coming over the hill, he doesn't know if it's doing 50 miles an hour or 1 mile an hour till the next photograph comes through. So he could step out when it's a mile away, but it might be doing 50 miles away.
Right. It's like a flick book, basically.
Yeah, but he doesn't know. He can't judge how far something's
sort of like a flick book, but with the pages, some of the pages missing, I guess.
Yeah, so everything he does has to be... He's basically...
The beginning and the end.
He has to act like he's blind. If he's going to reach for a bottle, he has to move his hand up slowly because the photographs, he don't know what speed they're
so weird, that is now.
There's one where it's odd. He goes, but people, they think they're dead. Which, is
it Catards?
Oh, I couldn't. Oh, that rings a bell, but I don't know if that's it. But it's they can't. He said they can smell the death on them. They think they're dead, and you're not getting it. Like you go, the body's just deceiving.
I think that is Catards. I think that is Catards.
What do they think? What?
They think they're
it's
like
literally
ghosts,
that's it. Not that. But they don't understand why you don't know that they're not dead. But there's no deeper thing than that. Then they can't. I don't know what the analysis of it. They go, well, look, here's you. It's like where the what they call people, the memory problems. And they have to keep showing the photographs.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. It's just
people
with memory problems. What's that thing? I was like, tell us again about all those times you got kicked in
there for you. I'm glad you picked up on it.
All the times you got kicked in the head when you were a bouncer.
No, but they say the wife would say, have to showing videos and photographs of because I go back into a room like outside and they don't know who I am, but I have to prove to them. So it's just the body lies to you, like it just lies. There's no. It's something goes wrong, and you can't go, oh, here's me, and something's go wrong. No, you believe there's a problem here, and you're not getting it. That's how wrong it is. Like delusions, really.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh no, I'm delusional. It's like no, and I stick myself in that, and because with me, the nuances of things that's where the details of everything are. So it's not, oh, I can't use my legs. Oh, it's going to be hard. I would think, right, my legs don't work now, and I'm going to leave the house. What do? and I think, oh God, right, I've got to try and move over. I've got to shuffle. I can't lift my weight. My arm's not strong enough. I've got to pull.
Would you actually act this out?
No, it's just going
for the motion.
The brain doesn't know the difference. So as long as your eyes, it doesn't know if you're doing it for real. As long as the images are in your head, but it's the nuances. So I'd struggle to get out, and it would take a few seconds to get into a chair. Then I'd think about going over to the stairs, and I'd think about getting onto the stairs and getting myself off and sliding down. And I'd think how embarrassed I am, like I'm having to do this, like slide down a stairs. Like,
I suppose the thing is, if you were someone who's always disabled, you're not necessarily embarrassed, are you?
No. But I was thinking about not embarrassed, but like this is fucking shit.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'd have to create the emotions.
Be walking.
Yeah, I'd have to create the emotions in my head of going down each step, and then getting downstairs, trying to pull myself up, and there's more to it than that. But then basically, I'd get out the house. Right, and I'd lock the door, and I remember turning the wheelchair around. And this is probably about 2 minutes thinking about how I feel at the time, and I'm not be able to go here, and I can't, and what am I going to do? And I've never used to be disabled. And then I'd get out the door, lock it, and then I'd open my eyes. I'd go right, and I'd just stand up and walk, and suddenly the world wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you can't just go, well, I'm disabled.
But I think that's because you lived in such extreme kind of things that I think most people wouldn't necessarily. They'd probably get halfway through that exercise and go, "Oh fuck it, I'm just going to get up now."
Yeah, no. But that was my point. I had to. It's the old Ulysses and Pact again thing. I knew there was problems I felt that I can't get around. Yeah. But I need something to get me through it.
Explain the Ulysses and Pact.
Yeah. That's
right. So basically, is oh God, what's the name? Joyce. What's his name?
James
Joyce. What's the book? The
Ulysses.
Fucking Ulysses. Yeah. So it was the crossing past the sirens that the ship would go.
Yeah.
But then the sirens come calling, and so all the heads of the shipmen would turn, and they'd go to the sirens. How would you explain the sirens? Somebody didn't know what it was.
So they're
a beautiful,
beautiful women that sing
by the shore.
Yeah, but they bring you towards rocks, and then you'd
crash.
Yeah.
Were they beautiful?
The song.
The song was beautiful. Yeah. They were like weird.
Well, it depends on the versions. Yeah, they could be.
But but basically something pulling you away.
They're luring you to doom. Yeah.
So Ulysses thought,
women,
I have to do something where I can't. I know I'm going to want to go there because their song's so beautiful. So I have to get my crewmen to tie me to the mast or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So that I know in the future I'm going to get pulled that way. So I have to be tied to make sure I don't. So that's what the Ulysses Impact is. It's knowing something's going to come up in the future, whether you're a lazy bastard or whether you're around the wrong people. You have to admit to yourself, what are my issues, my weaknesses, my problems I'm going to face in the future, and if I know I can't get around them, like I'm a bit lazy or I can't do, then you have to put things in place to make sure you can't deviate from that problem. So I do that and do other stuff, but it works. But you not as it must be bad and all that, and yes, legs on my legs. You go, no. You have to think. What would you be thinking now? What would you be feeling as you're getting off that chair? How would you feel if you were actually disabled and it's quite new to you? And then you just get up, and the endorphins, you trick your body like it fucks you, or you can trick it back to get a little flash of endorphins and go, fuck, can you just walk down the stairs? Like, it's life, it's not that fucking bad.
Extreme empathy.
Yeah. There was an interesting Ulysses Impact. Someone said to get them out of bed. Well, I believe this was a journalist. To get them out of bed, they had an alarm. They had their alarm, but they had it in their children's bedroom, like their baby's bedroom, so they would have to get up, and as soon as it buzzed, they would have to get up and out.
You can get the alarm clocks for lazy people. Have you seen? There's a few. They're quite interesting.
My friend had one, or someone had one.
Do these have like fists on springs?
No, it had like a it had like a little thing, and like basically, it had like a pin that would fly out. Basically, the alarm would go off, and the pin would fly out across the room. And the only way to stop the alarm was to go and get the pin and then put it back in.
I'm not sure you're going to be walking around your bedroom looking for a pin in the half.
Well, not a pin. It was like a bit of plastic. Like a plastic kind of...
Yeah. Plastic got like lost somewhere.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. He just said it was annoying, and eventually I think he just threw it out the bin.
Yeah, I think that's what you're going to do.
You just spend ages in your pants just going, what? It's like, just where the hell is this?
There's the one I see, which it bounces, so when the alarm goes off, it flies across the room, so you have to get up out the bed.
Yeah.
And there was another one where a code gets text to your phone that you then have to enter, and it's like a 10-digit code that you have to enter into the thing to turn it off. But my thing was, unless that's bolted to the floor, you're just going to move the problem. You're just going to go...
Or you're just going to take the batteries out.
Well, my thing with being in bed is this is another little personal development trick that you have to trick yourself in small ways to manipulate yourself. And one of the ways that sounds like bollocks, like a lot of these things are, but I promise you, when you do it, it's a different matter. When your alarm goes off or you have to get up, don't allow the thought in your head to enter of anything. 5 minutes, what time? When you wake up, get up and leave the bed before you think. And you do it once, and type 2, 3, and suddenly that thing in the morning goes away. You wake up as you're getting out of the bed. Don't do whatever you just wake up and get out of the bed. And you can do something else like go and get a drink of water because that wakes you up. A cold drink of water.
Charles was skeptical.
I set my alarm like usually about 20 minutes, half an hour before I need to wake up, just so I can. And then because I have the snooze set to 9 minutes. And then I will set it so I get like 2 or 3 snooze.
But why? My thing would be, why are you playing mental games with yourself rather than just get up?
Because I like that moment of waking up, like the alarm going off, and you going, "Oh Christ! Oh God, no! Oh, God.
That's why.
And then why? I feel like I'm dying because it's what I always
coffin
think.
open.
I always think every morning I wake up and I go, I feel like I'm dying, and then I go, oh, thank God, I've got another 9 minutes. And then I just go snooze. And I was like, oh, thank God.
But it's
that 9 minutes of sleep is just, it's
away from your...
It's wonderful. And then it goes
you've
off
got
again.
One over on yourself.
Yeah, and then it goes off again. And I go, oh, Christ, I'm really dying this time. I can't go to work.
Another day of waking up to a bin that's on fire. And
but that is just...
gone off sweet corn, needs to be moved.
Oh, you missed that, Theo, before we were coming... There was... In the House of Horror, yeah.
We was talking about you. I was going down the road.
Of course you were, yeah. I assume everyone does when I'm not here.
Yeah. After I just picked up my new car.
I didn't notice you'd stolen.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen it.
Is that permanent then, or?
Yeah.
Because I
had to get rid. But after I bought it, I was driving back to mine, and it was raining, and the guy was walking down the road with a single yogurt pot, eating it with his finger.
Oh no!
And I was looking at his face to go, what am I getting from it? He's not bothered.
Charles.
No, and I thought of you. I thought of your mate.
No, for your mate. Yeah, that was it.
Charlie says hello.
I used to eat food with when I was at uni initially in Birmingham. I used to eat food with my uni card.
With your uni card?
What food?
We used to go to the big Tesco.
What does a uni card look like? A bus ticket?
Well, that's just like
credit card size.
Yeah. It's like an ID card. It's like a credit card size.
So what can you eat with that?
Usually chocolate mousses, cheese.
No, don't say it.
Then we go sit outside.
Sit
outside the big Tesco's, like in the car park, and just eat stuff.
You're just
yogurt as well.
Barbarians, like.
But that must be quite. Don't they have spoons or anything? Pen.
That was before the days when they gave spoons.
No, but I mean, why didn't you have spoons anyway? Like, why don't you just go back to your house? Yeah, but when you
quite far, and we were hungry.
Oh, Jesus wept.
Because a card, to bend the card.
There wasn't bending. You just scoop out.
What, in a yogurt pot?
Yeah.
Are you getting a card in a yogurt pot?
Can, yeah.
Well, like a Muller.
Yeah.
Unless you folded it.
I mean, I can't. Like the thing is, Theo, why are we going like, oh, how would you get the card in? It's not. That's not.
Why? I'm trying to find an excuse
why,
of what am I not missing? What am I getting?
Yeah,
That's not a great idea.
That's not the weirdest thing I did.
Of course, it's not. I mean, it's just. We need to talk about the sweet because I think it's unfair that we've talked about it. But
plus, it's a yogurt, so it's not an emergency food.
No, it's not like I'm starving, like I've crawled, dying.
I'm going to have a luxury and eat it with a card.
There's a lot of chocolate mousse, chocolate cake as well. You go buy slices of chocolate cake and just eat them.
Well, at least you can slice it with that.
Yeah.
So no, Theo, don't look at you. You're agreeing. Charles is like one of us.
Google gabble.
No,
I feel like this is a dead end we're going down. It doesn't pull back from this.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want to hear about the sweet corn or no? I mean,
it's not much.
Is it something? No, I won't say that.
Basically, it was just a load of mouldy sweet corn that, again, instead of like every other human on the planet, it just got shifted
sweet
around.
corn got big before it goes mouldy.
Oh, I was there for a while. But this guy, my mate's house, the landlord left it out. And
Spaghetti man again.
Yeah,
in the house of Spaghetti Man.
Yeah.
But the landlord...
House of Spaghetti, yeah.
The landlord that had a heart attack because they didn't fix the gas leak.
Yeah, because the gas leak and used to just leave fires on.
Yeah, move fire from one room to another.
Yeah, just leave them unattended. Yeah. He had some gone off sweet corn that was left in the kitchen for a while. And like my mate was just like, I'm not throwing that away. That stays there. That's now a monument.
Oh Jesus!
To like this guy not
molded to the desk. Yeah,
and it was on a plate.
Oh, okay.
So for jokes, we used to just move it around here and there. So it would be in a
But you're
different
living there.
spot.
It's like it's not like you're doing it all as a little prank every time you go around your mate's house. Like you're there in it too.
Yeah. Well, I was sort of living in his living room at that point.
But you didn't think, I'm not cleaning this up. This is his mess. I'm not.
Yeah, well, that was
that's
initially
the
it. But then we
mindset,
thought it's funny to like leave it around, so we just leave it around different places.
But I leave
every
it
day.
around, like at least leave it around in different places, like in his room. If you're going to prank him, like leave the.
It was in the sort of hall.
It was noticeable.
And
But this is the
on
house full of
stairs.
gas waves, so that
I know,
it's quite
like,
usual.
I mean, to be fair, versus last week where we crossed the Rubicon last week. We really did.
yeah.
I felt it was almost like, well, we had a good run, everyone.
Yeah, we landed in the sponge pieces at the bottom of the slide.
But yeah, there was a funny bit. We, for jokes, left it right by the front door so that he'd see it when he came in.
Yeah, that's
Never
a bit
commented.
obvious. I definitely didn't put that there.
Yeah, because we never said anything.
Right.
See the
I mean,
the
the thing is, like,
going,
a girl comes into that house, surely it's got to sting. Like,
oh yeah. We're just smell anyway. It just smelled horrible. Yeah, and like there were bin bags piled up everywhere.
but how would you bring back a girl thinking, oh,
Yeah, I
this
was
is a
thinking,
romantic setting?
Who would
But the lovely thing is like half of the conversation, you're just like, is that
glance? Yeah.
a bit of moldy sweet corn? He goes, yeah, it is, yeah.
Did
And
you
then
meet
just
her?
carried on talking, and we were in the kitchen, and I just crashed.
Was she a lunatic herself?
No,
She was when she inhaled all the gas.
Yeah, I was thinking once she'd had a few seconds in the house,
Gas
it didn't
poisoning.
seem that bad.
Started having the nosebleed and just like, oh, is it the sweet corn?
and the headaches. yeah.
What was that film? Oh, it weren't with Jodie Foster. There's oh God, I'm not going to remember it now. I think it begins with I, and there's a wall of sort of wavy thing, and they have to walk than that.
Oh, is it the Netflix?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
it. It's all colour. It looks like a
Got Natalie
painting.
Portman in.
Annihilation.
Yeah, I imagine that with like his house when you walk in, there's open the door and there's this wall of sort of
And just like a
gas, and you walk in.
We didn't.
I remember, I nearly said a friend, a bloke I used to work with in a company, I don't say the name of it, but he got done for the old, he was growing weed up in his loft. Really nice young guy he was. But they got him with the old helicopter and they used the heat-seeking things across the
Look at that, we've come right back to helicopters. We almost had a...
Well, my thing with the helicopter was your life and death.
Sorry, the heat-seeking, how did that find...
They fly over all the just towns and they can see in your attic if there's heat coming off of it.
These with the thermal imaging stuff, they can see. Like sometimes, because like when you're growing stuff...
Why are you still doing it? There's no plan B. It's just crashes.
And you get weird stuff. Like I remember during the Osama bin Laden raid, basically, they had those two military grade...
I love the way you said it. I remember during the Osama bin Laden raid, we were really determined to...
Yeah, me and the guy...
But you'd have a portable DVD like Theo in his car.
But yeah, no, during the Osama bin Laden thing, basically, they had these two top-of-the-line advanced helicopters, and one of them just literally fell out the sky because there was like an eddy, there was a heat thing, and the basically...
I thought it was to do with the walls.
It was something to do with that, but the air basically...
It wasn't convecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The air just... and it just dropped. Basically, the air stopped.
Is that because they were coming in so low, presumably?
I think it was hovering or something at that point.
I think it was something to do with the walls, so that you wasn't getting the draft of air coming up for it to sit on.
Which is weird.
It literally fell out the sky.
No, my thing was, that's quite a simple thing. Was that not accounted for? Like, are you fucking mental? Because it was really simple.
But maybe it was. They were just like, look, you've got to go in so low because this is the most important thing.
No,
Bin
but
Laden dies, on this raid.
All of those things, because they actually built the compound, didn't they? They had a scan of the compound and then built it and then trained around those buildings to get in.
And it was like next door to the Pakistani
they did.
security
They got them on one thing, I think.
They were like,
because they had a.
we had no clue Bin Laden was next door to us.
They had a fake door that was built. So they blow up the door, but it's just a brick wall behind it.
Yeah.
Who did? Sorry.
Whoever's living in the compound. They initially went in through a brick wall, but there's a door there that they thought was obviously a door, like a fake door. So
they tried to bust through a door, and
but
then
it was
they
a brick
realised
wall
it was a
behind
fake.
it.
It was
And then they realised they were in like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
They just fell into a
They
hole.
dropped an anvil on Bin Laden.
Right, let's get off of this subject.
Yeah.
So helicopter, but but they had to blow it up so the Pakistanis didn't get all the thing. But would you really destroy the whole thing? You're still going to get some of it.
Yeah. As much as possible, I suppose.
I suppose you can't do anything. They said they did think about trying to get it back, but I thought there's no chance of getting that back. That's just going to vanish.
Well, I suppose also you can't really.
It's like 60 million
but
pounds.
you know when we flew in and didn't ask permission?
Yeah, that illegal murder raid.
Yeah.
Can we have our helicopter back, please?
Yeah.
You know when we didn't tell you, like we basically pulled your pants down and in front of the international community.
Yeah, that was
Would you mind? Could we?
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
We were burgled.
Yeah, basically.
Stolen
I
about.
mean, obviously, clearly they shouldn't have been harbouring the world's most wanted terrorist.
Yeah. Ultimately, fuck that guy. But
and also he because it wasn't next door, but it was very close to like a Pakistani secret service facility, wasn't it? It was very
or army training or something.
Yeah, it was something that it was like they clearly must have known. Yeah, but it is a bit nice to be like, just a bit cheeky to be like, you know, when we invaded your airspace? Yeah, that's a bit like in the Victorian era. At one point, the island of Zanzibar rebelled against the British government, and so they sent a top of the line battleship to Zanzibar, and the Zanzibarans had seized, but they were old like steam, sort of those pedal things you see in, going down rivers.
A pedal steam.
So they had that against a top of the line ironclad battleship. So it just sunk them all without, they weren't even in firing range, to fire back. They just blew them up, shelled all around Zanzibar until they surrendered. It only took, I think it's regarded the shortest war in history because it was something like 2 hours. And after the battle was over, the British sent Zanzibar the bill for the shells, and you feel like that's a little.
Isn't that don't they do that with Germany? And like, if you have to pay for the war,
there were war reparations.
Charge you for
it.
So yeah,
I watched 1917. Have you seen it?
No, I've heard it's good.
No.
Okay.
Oh, it's
really?
like generic.
Yeah, but you said this about Joker, and then you watched it again.
No, I did pay attention. I've learned. See, I never do that again. If I'm going to watch something, it's half. I watch it properly now.
Yeah,
but it was on a computer still. But
bought legally.
No, it was. It's cliche. It was a cliche of every film and nothing new. Like, it was just the same. The war bit and. I don't know what. It was just nothing. It was just. It was the guy's mate dying.
Style over substance, and spoiler alert.
It seemed like. Well, I didn't say the end. Well,
the main guy's mate dies.
No, I was going to say right. That's near the beginning.
Well, there's two of them. I'm assuming one like.
Yeah, it was
at least one of them.
He gets killed. He's in his arms. Am I dying? No, you're fine. He's putting tissues on it. And you go, okay, we've done this. Like, this is okay. Your mate's dying. Can you tell my mate? And you go. But then I couldn't think of anything else that happens in the film. It's just some bloke walking between fields, and every now and again there's a sniper. Then nothing happens. It's like there's no end to the film. It ends, but there's no. The end is just dropping off a message. That's what he's trying to get a message to another squadron to say, like, this is you've been lulled into a full state security. You got to leave. But you go, and it is the guy that directed it. It was a story that was told to him by his grandfather.
Yeah.
So, and it says, like, this film is dedicated to Sergeant blah, blah. You go, do you get funding for this story?
Well, because it's Sam Mendes, probably.
Yeah.
Well, so he's a big... so he did two of the recent Bond films. So he did Sky.
Oh, right, so he's quite...
did American Beauty.
But it's not... I'm not surprised. Was it in the cinema?
Yeah. I think it's probably still in the cinema right now.
Yeah. It's not a cinema film.
At time of recording.
There's not even like a Saving Private Ryan where you go, there's some big battle scenes that are quite admirable, how they pull it off. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just somebody wandering around. Anyway, that's my thumbs down.
That's a film review, is it? Yeah.
Boo.
2 thumbs down.
Not enough war in a war film, yeah?
Because I watched it through thinking, right, I'm going to try and redeem myself.
He did that film about about the Gulf War, didn't he? Where there wasn't.
Oh, he did
Jarhead. Yeah.
Oh,
I
next
I thought it was quite interesting, isn't it? That was Sam Mendes. That was
Sam Mendes, yeah. And that got panned because again, not enough war in my war.
But I thought that was quite interesting.
It wasn't a bad film.
No, I thought.
Have you seen any films recently? You don't really go and even hear you say you've gone to the cinema or anything like that.
No, I used to go loads. I haven't had the time recently. So the last thing I saw was Joker.
Oh.
Just because I thought I do want to see this.
What about you, Charles? I can see you as a cinema guy, but you don't seem to go that often.
Yeah, again, I don't really have a lot of time.
What was the last time? What was the last one?
Joker.
Oh, really?
No.
That's a quite thumbs up for the Joker then.
Joker was alright.
Yeah,
It's good.
it was all right.
But I think because it was a
good,
bit
no.
talking. It was a talking point film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a bit. It was good. It's one of those films where I've gone in and pulled stuff around. And
The Batcat car turn.
No, not even that. But there's a couple of bits like I would like to have changed and seen done differently. And like the ending, I wish it would kind of just have ended bang with the TV broadcast just going off. Because he shoots Robert De Niro, does his weird little dance,
But then there's no
and
Batman.
then he's just like,
no, not Batman.
he's just like, what do I do now?
But there's
And
no
he just
Joker
doesn't know
film
what to
then.
do now.
Then it's
He's
just a
like,
nutter.
yeah.
You had to lead into him becoming the Joker.
I take it as an Elseworld story where he
mean, he did call himself the Joker, didn't he, as he went on?
the
The guy said, can you refer to me as the Joker?
as Joker, yeah.
As Joker. But that's a fairly quick death scene.
I don't think of him as the Joker we've seen
Yeah, right,
in like other Batman stories or things. I think of him as just like some weird incel creep dude who.
No, I like what you said about
the
the fact that the eventual Joker would have used him as a reference because he was like.
Well, that's sort of what they're kind of implying.
Because I was thinking he's not a genius or anything. He's got nothing about him, so he can't be the guy. But he's created the image of the guy.
Well, as we saw, there were crowds of people all dressed in clown masks on. So the idea is that.
So there's sort of a wider movement.
So what would you class as a really good film?
A really good film.
Yeah, something you go, right, yeah, I love that film.
Recently, I think.
And not Avengers or anything like that, not a spectacle.
Christ, what have I seen? I haven't seen anything like.
The last 10 years.
The favourite? Sarah Churchill and her cousin, who I've forgotten her name now.
Yeah, I'm not into all that royal family stuff.
No, but it's not recent royal family.
The harder it gets for me.
Yeah,
But it looked fairly surrealish, basically.
yeah,
the way
it's
it was
got
shot
some.
and
It's not
everything, so.
it's not a conventional.
It's not a period drama. It's not like sort of BBC period.
It's not a period drama.
It is, but it's not.
But it's not like it's not like a BBC kind of thing of my lord, my lady.
Oh. So what film? Go on, give us a good film then. Your
In last
critique.
10 years, I liked Nightcrawler a lot.
Yeah, that was it.
In that.
That's
Is that a superhero film?
no. No, it's about a weird, creepy dude who goes around filming crime scenes.
What's the
and
story?
selling footage about a weird, creepy.
Is it a
dude.
horror?
No, it's like a.
It's not a true story. It's not a horror.
No, it's psychological
sort of a thriller.
Yeah.
Anyone famous in it?
Jake Gyllenhaal, the late Bill Paxton,
Who's he?
Rene Russo.
What's his name? Riz Ahmed.
Yeah.
as well. He's really good.
Don't know any of them people.
Riz Ahmed's English guy. The English.
So what happens in the film? He likes to film murder scenes.
He starts making money. Basically.
Yeah, he's kind of become. It's sort of set in the probably a few. It's
late 90s.
yeah, and it's sort of that almost where people, if it bleeds, it leads
Right.
kind of new.
So there's sort of story about him doing that. Does he?
Well,
become
he's
the murderer.
He's actually almost you in a dark universe because
he's Joker.
Me in a dark universe.
Yeah, because he's always just like latching.
He's a
onto-
goodie then.
Yeah, no, he's an evil version of
No.
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
He's a complete.
You're like,
sociopath.
I'm the
He's a complete
evil
sociopath.
version of me. Rips his shirt.
What's the thing with Stewie when he's got the bad?
Cuthbert. Yeah. So he's basically the Cuthbert of you. Because he's very much like self-taught everything,
Yeah.
so he's learning. He's constantly.
But
reading
why does
this
he
and
like
reading
doing
that,
this?
And he just wants to do something. Is almost the thing. So it's rather than you just wanting, you trying to bet it. In the way that you betted yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, now I can teach other people what
Yeah.
I did. His thing is like, I just want to be somebody, anybody doing.
But
a
why
thing.
does that make him famous?
It
Or
doesn't make him
important?
famous. No, it's just as in he wants to have a job and he wants to be successful.
It's a
but
job. It's not like a pervert
yeah.
or something.
No. So
Oh.
he goes. It's almost by accident. He's doing lots of different things. So he at one point he's working for I think a garage or something like that.
It's
Yeah.
the copper, isn't it?
Yeah, he's doing all sorts of weird things, and then he just latches onto it. I think he sees a crime happening. He sees people filming it, so he's like, right, I'm going to buy a shit camera and a shit.
Oh,
van.
right, okay.
And
So
a
he's
police
crime
scanner
fighting.
and stuff.
So he is a goodie then.
No,
Oh, he's a complete sociopath.
But why is he a baddie if he just wants to sort of get rid of crime or whatever?
No, he's not getting rid of crime. He's filming say if there's a crash.
But what for?
It's the body strewn
Sell
out for the
to-
news.
to sell to
to sell it.
So he's like
so-
a paparazzi, but for crime, I guess.
Yeah.
So, spoiler, but what happens then? He's doing that.
He gets away with everything, I guess, because for example, he films house. What do they call it? Home invasion.
Massive.
And he just films and watches it happen. He
As
doesn't
it
stop,
happens.
yeah, and doesn't stop the crime and breaks into essentially a crime scene to film stuff. I think he moves
He frames stuff. He starts moving crime scenes.
Yeah, he gets to the point that he makes because they look better the way he
yeah.
frames them and everything like that. And
He must die at the end.
No.
How does it end then?
Spoiler 3, 2, 1. Basically, he just becomes really successful and has almost he starts. The idea is he starts off with one shitty van and one shit camera, and everyone's kind of almost laughing at him. Other people, but because he's got this instinct for it, and because he's willing to go beyond the rules, even the low sort of bar that they've set, he's willing to.
It's a complete sociopath.
Yeah, absolutely. He gets in with the news lady, and it's all very. He just wins by being the creep, but by willing to be more of a creep.
A strange way
but it's like he's dead inside. It's a weird.
Yeah, it's really
no payoff for if you like goodies. Is he?
No, well, it's a really weird film, but I love his dialogue and the way he talks. He talks in this very formalized sort of business setting, like in every conversation.
And what's it called?
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, he has all these weird sort
Isn't
of
there a superhero called?
There is a
Oh, there
superhero
is.
called Nightcrawler.
Yeah, it's an X-Man. Yeah, Nightcrawler. Yeah.
What's his power? See at
He
night?
can teleport.
Yeah,
can't he?
Bamf. He teleports places. Yeah.
Is that the noise it makes?
Yeah, Bamf.
Oh. Was that your film or your?
And that was Charles.
That's-
Concur, it's a good film.
Okay.
what else? Off the top of my head, Under the Skin. I loved. And
What was that one?
That's an English film. It's it's kind of a sci-fi horror, I suppose. It's got
The alien woman. She's an alien.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she goes around this.
You like that?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Is it because Scarlett Johansson gets them out for the lads?
That's part of it. Yeah. But it's just, I just think it's really weird, and it's a really good piece of visual storytelling because it doesn't actually really explain anything to you expressly, and you just have to kind of figure out the story through.
Yeah. See, I'm not there. I'm not there.
I'm a little bit sort of because the thing was he did in it. I've forgotten his name now. Is it Jonathan Glazer?
Yes.
And I think he did in it. He was like, "Oh, if it was up to me, I'd just make films where I would show them to my friends and then I'd burn them in the garden afterward." That's why you got Scarlett Johansson, one of the most famous actresses in all the world, to be in your film. Go fuck yourself,
Yeah.
and you make car commercials.
What
Most
happened
of
at
the
the
time.
end of that? Did she get killed?
Yeah, she gets killed.
Spoiler alert! Jeez,
How
gosh.
does she get killed?
Some guy basically tries to rape
Sets her on fire.
yeah, so the guy tries to rape her and she runs away, and then he
Because he grabs at her, it pulls off some of her
Right, yeah.
fake
her
skin.
covering.
Yeah.
Her Scarlett
she turns
Johansson
into an alien.
covering, yeah.
and he sees that she's got some weird black she's some weird black alien person. He just pours paraffin or petrol and sets her on fire.
But why didn't she fight back?
Because she was too busy looking at her weird skin.
Yeah.
Her weird
Well, she
skin.
sat there while somebody throwing paraffin.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's got some good bits in it. I found it. It tested my patience. That film.
It was weird and creepy.
Oh, you just like the weirdness.
The music. Yeah.
Anyway, we shouldn't be talking about movies. We've got a movie podcast next week.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Any other subjects?
I had a really, well, I guess you'll be the judge of this. I had an interesting conversation with friends. So obviously on WhatsApp, as well as keeping in touch with friends, 99% of it is just sending around horrible memes and videos and stupid things. And you go, well, that's, I'm going to have to bathe myself in some bleach now just to wipe that out of my brain. But somebody sent me, I think they sent me 3 picture jokes kind of in a row. And one of them I was like, that's actually kind of offensive. I don't want to repeat what it was.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it was basically racist.
Right.
And I just said to them, I was like, oh, the first 2 were quite funny, but I don't like that third one. I'm not a big fan.
Oh, you took a stand.
Yeah, but but the thing was, we had a grown-up conversation about it, and I just said, oh, I don't think that one's cool. Blah blah blah. And she was like, yeah, that's fine, and that was it.
It was a she.
Yeah, it was a she. But because then we were talking about it involved the N word, and basically she was because her thing was she said but the thing isn't that you hear black people using that word as a whole, we're trying to take it back, so why can't we? I'm like, but I said, but have you actually ever heard a black person actually use the N word outside of Chris Tucker films from the 19 films and rap music?
Yeah.
When have you ever heard? I've never heard
Especially in England.
especially in England more so. Yeah.
Have I?
I've never heard a black person use that word.
Have I ever heard an English person use it?
I've never even heard it. I've grown up in like.
Well, okay.
I don't know if I have.
I will broaden that out. I've never heard a black person who's either a black person from America, a black person from Africa. I know Africa's not a country, but I'm talking about like black people from the Caribbean, black people from England, black people. I've never heard any black person ever use the N-word.
That's the thing. I was just thinking in this country. I mean, I've seen it on the TV and I've seen
that's
in America.
I've heard it in music and in America and stuff.
Yeah, but in fiction,
in this country, have I heard this? Like, I don't think I have actually. No.
Yeah.
I've heard white people use it against.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's a racial slur, but like but I've never heard it used in the positive way.
Yeah, but that was the thing I said to her, and we both was like, yeah, actually, because it was interesting to have that kind of conversation where it wasn't, because obviously now we live in such extreme things where if someone says something, you go, well, you're offended and we're defriending, and people put on their Facebook going, if anyone did this, then defriend me and blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, what a great way to have a dialogue with someone. I just said, I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's appropriate. Here's why.
Oh, she's like, bollocks.
No. But she said, here's why I thought it was okay, but it's obviously it's not. So
But what was her defence?
Well, her defence was that saying that the whole idea was that if N-word to reclaim it, to take it away from being a racial slur, why can't we if it's also
That's
not
quite a one-dimensional base?
Yeah, but my counterpoint to that was like, I don't think I've ever actually heard a black person use that word to reclaim it. I think it's it was a thing from 90s rap music, because I don't think you. I don't.
It's a weak argument.
Just trying to have it, but it was just quite nice to actually have a conversation with someone, even though it stemmed from something that was actually quite offensive, I suppose. Well, not I suppose, it was offensive. I don't know why I'm caveat but it was just quite nice to have a kind of grown-up conversation about this is why I think it's inappropriate. It's almost you can apologise and then get on with it. A little like Alistair Stewart recently.
I think if there's not like hate behind stuff. Sometimes people say
the thing was context.
Yeah. Sometimes people say
sometimes
you say things that or older people. I do. We all say occasionally things that you go, oh, actually, probably put my foot in that, or someone got a bit pissed with that.
That's what
But if it's not hatred behind it, and it's just stupidity or
insensitivity.
It was. That's what I took it as. I thought, I don't think that there's malice behind this. This is ignorance.
Yeah.
And that's, again, but the thing is that doesn't mean you get to go, oh, it's ignorant, I'll move on.
There's no defence in the law.
I felt that, but it was also like, I felt I have to, because at first I was like, oh, I'm just going to ignore that, that's a bit, and I thought, hey, because of X, Y, Z, and I said, no, I think it's still wrong because of this, and that was it. And then we just carried on our conversation, and it was fine. It was quite nice, it was quite refreshing in this age where everything is so... But I'm not trying to mix things here, but that you are either right or wrong. We were chatting about this last night. Was out with some friends. In fact, I need to give a couple of shout outs to Claire and Joe, because they.
Hey Claire and Joe.
Hey Claire and Joe, because I gave a shout out to Matt. These are people from my
Joe
gym.
with an O or Joe with an E?
Joe with an O. What do you mean Joe with?
No, Joe fella.
Lady Joe. Yeah, Lady Joe. Lady Joe sounds like a superhero, and Lady Claire. There we go. They fight crime. No, but it's because a couple of weeks back I gave a shout out to Matt from the gym, and they were like, "Hey, we listen too," and I was like, "Well, I don't know, do I? We don't get a breakdown."
Oh, they're from the gym.
Yeah, but they're from the same one. They were like, "Hey, I've listened to loads," and
they're in good shape.
Yeah. What an odd question. I mean, imagine if I said no, but no, they are.
It's fairly ubiquitous to have gym person fitness instructors that aren't in shape.
No, these are people that go to the gym. They are...
Again, you didn't clear anything up there. There's a lot of people that go to the gym.
Yeah,
they
go to the same gym. But this gym isn't a gym where you can stand around posing, because it's a circuit thing. So if you're the ones you can't stand in a minute, also because it's really small.
Yeah, so I see you go to the gym. What do you do? Do you box?
There's some like
weights.
It's a mix. So it starts off. It's called Round. There are 9 stations here. This sounds like I'm doing a paid promotion here, but we do have a little poster up in there. I have one.
Have you got a code that you want to give over them to?
Actually, no. But if you tell them that I send you, then I get money off my membership. So the idea is it's 9 rounds. It's 3 minutes on each round, as it were, each station. Let's call it
like a CrossFit thing.
I guess so. I've never done CrossFit, but when I've said it to people who do CrossFit, they're like, "Oh, it's a kind of a bit like that, but it's not the extreme. It also doesn't cost you fucking £500 a month or whatever CrossFit costs.
Medical costs afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah.
They all do it outside of. There's a CrossFit thing outside of Clapham Junction train station.
Oh god, it all comes back to trains, doesn't it? It all comes back to lurking.
It's like one of the arches and stuff, and like you go there on Sunday mornings, and they all do it outside.
Outside, no.
They open up because it's like a big railway arches, and they open up the doors, and like there's people basically doing it on the
concrete.
Yeah, on the pavement.
That's good for your knees. That is
just like showing off in front of everyone.
Yeah, let everyone can see. Yeah.
The 720.
So go on, you're on 9.
So, for example, it's 3 minutes on each round.
Yeah.
With 30 seconds of what they call active rest. So that would just be something like doing something light, like just doing jumping jacks or doing high knees. Blah, 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 blah. So the idea is you do 3 minutes. Say, for example, is usually jump rope on the first round. Then you do 30 seconds, just the little thing. Then you move on to the next one. There's a buzzer each time.
Yeah.
And so usually be like round 1 is jump rope. Round 2 is weights. It's not like a really heavy lift. It's more for cardio. And then round 3 is the speed ball. Then you got a couple of bags. You do a bit of also some pad work with them. There's no contact.
Freestyle, you mean like breakdancing?
Yeah, breakdance. We basically break dance. We did the Carlton dance.
Freestyle. And yeah, do whatever you want.
So just pad work, I guess. And then it's going back to.
Is this proper pad work, or is this you throwing your hands up and then hitting your hands with the pads?
No. They have that. They hold the pads up and we punch them because it's not a macho gym. I'm not. I don't want you to come.
Any sparring?
Everyone. No, because it's not a spar. It's not a sparring.
But
gym.
this is warm up. This is.
Well,
when do you lift the weights?
You do
when
some
do you
weight.
do your deadlifts? When do you do your squats?
Deadlifts on 2. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm worried that you're not doing enough weight. So that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get saggy skin. You need to build the muscle.
Right. Fair enough.
Where is it?
No, I'm not telling you because you'll go and be mean to everyone. I like the gym.
I wouldn't know.
I like the people there.
No, why would you think I'd been polite?
Because most of your stories about gym,
let me in.
Yeah, but most of your stories about the gym's like, I was going to this gym until they kicked me out.
Yeah, but that's not my fault.
You're like with gyms, what he's like with trains. All right,
yeah.
You're going to gyms and getting in fights with the trainers, and he's going on the train and getting in fights with
times.
It's just public spaces, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's what public space you spend the most time in. Yeah.
Well, no, I go most places. I don't have any trouble.
Yeah, you're the problem here. You're the one that's making us look bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
happiness and freedom.
I'm like the man
to get in more trouble.
I'm like the man in your shop who's like,
what weights do you do?
What do you mean? What weights?
What type of weight training? Do you do?
So there'll be a mix of what do you mean?
Like bicep curls, deadlifts,
a mix
squats.
of different things. Yeah, so it's a different workout every day. So you'll be doing. So some days there'll be
but
deadlifts.
Not to speed.
Pardon, sorry?
Not part of that.
Yeah, but for 3 minutes, yeah. But some days there'll be 2 or 3 different weight based exercises.
Like how many squats? What squats and how many squats?
So it might be something like do 10 kettlebell squats, then do 10 whatever kettlebell squats. I'm making this up now, but you know what I mean. Like but you just do that round and round.
Okay, so you're not doing 5 sets with like a barbell.
Yeah, but it was just like you'll do 5 sets with something and then 5 with something else, and then because obviously it's for 3 minutes, then you go back and do the first
But you
set.
can't do it properly in 3 minutes. That's cardio.
Yeah, it is more cardio. It's light.
Yeah, no, you need to do weights.
Yeah, but I'll go to a different gym for that. I mean, I don't, but
I need to get us all down the gym. I spoke to one of the people at one of the gyms. I go, if I do ever pop at the gyms, I go to a few different ones. So, but one of them said we can go there.
Because they're all chucking you out.
No, it's because I have to go at certain times to make sure I'm not around people.
Yeah.
So I have to enough gyms to
To
go.
be fair, you did have
that
orange peel in the gym.
Yeah, I sent him a picture. I got on the treadmill and there was orange peel on the treadmill. Like somebody's eaten and left the fucking
on
vegan.
the treadmill.
Yeah,
like
in
someone's
the
having an orange on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's peeled out.
Animals.
It's fucked up.
But not actually on the tray. It was like in the
cup holder.
Oh, okay.
But like you ate.
But still, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And left the rub like 2 things.
Imagine if there was a mouldy sweet corn in there, like a corn on the cob. You'd be like, Charles,
Follow them back to the house.
Weirdo would do that, eh?
Do you ever go to the gym, Charles?
Not for a long time.
No.
I do have some weights at home and stuff.
Okay.
I work.
Yeah, we need to arrange a Vialucci training session one night, like midnight. We'll go to the gym and there's no one.
I think I'm busy.
I don't know what day yet.
I work hard. I work a lot, so like I have lost loads of weight recently. I had my.
I was thinking you're looking a bit.
My old belt. I had to make 3 new notches on my old belt.
New.
Yeah, because it was getting
tightened. Then.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
And then that kind of fell apart, so I bought.
I didn't know what end the notches were at.
No. the right way, the good way, rather than the wrong way. And then like I bought a new belt, and then I've had to make a new notch on that. So.
Oh, nice. So, but per notch, that must be quite a lot of weight.
Yeah,
about a stone.
Yeah,
maybe
half a stone per notch. I don't know.
Lost a bit, yeah.
So what is that? How much have you lost then?
I don't know because I haven't.
Is that just because you haven't had the money to eat? Or?
Last time I measured myself, I was 8.5 stone when I came back from India. So I'm assuming I'm probably about 9 now.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, 9, maybe 10. How good?
Have you ever measured your height or anything? I've never measured my weight or my height. I don't see the point in all that.
What do you? What?
Because people say I'm this tall or I'm that much weight.
I know how tall I am, but that's about it.
I think I have the doctor.
But how do you know?
Well, yeah, usually it's quite often if you go to a new GP, they measure you, don't they?
Yeah, they do because they want their BMI and stuff, don't
Yeah.
they?
Okay, yeah.
Just to know if you're healthy-ish.
Yeah, that BMI stuff, that got blown out of the water. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's just the doctors catching up with health, like as usual. Yeah, so you're at the gym. Have you got any lines you want to cross in the gym? Like, you're going to train for a competition? Have you got any...
No.
Something you want to...
No.
We've got to get you down the gym to lift some weights. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what they're putting you through your...
yeah, there was quite a bit of weight lifting there. But I didn't lift,
that weight's the main thing. The cardio's the less... Remember the Mr. Universe, the Schwarzeneggers and all that in the 70s and all that, didn't do any cardio.
Just checking there, yeah.
Yeah,
didn't he have a heart attack fairly recently?
No, but all of them. But I mean, to be honest, they're more damaged from the weight that they had done.
Yeah,
because it was. I mean, they didn't,
and definitely not from the steroids.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Yeah, but the thing is, at a certain point, the skeleton can't catch up with the chemicals. So if you're lifting the half a ton 5 or 6 times a day, the skeleton can't actually take that weight. So when you get old,
it puts you a lot.
The body then starts to all those things. You're not young anymore, so that all those things that you did, now you're going to have to pay back for them. Yeah. But that was extreme anyway, so that's stupid. But they got doing the bodies they had, the best, the golden era of bodybuilding, they call it. No cardio. Didn't have cardio machines then. It was just the exercises that were done properly that gave them that body. So the cardio thing is a bit of a con because you can do it simply without. It seems to be the biggest thing is the cardio. No, you can do it a lot quicker, but it's just a sales. Easier to have a load of people on running machines than it is to have a gym full of weights and people moving around. But you get less and less. So if you're just running, which is cardio, you end up getting, they're 40, 50 years old and all the skin's hanging off them because they've just burnt all the muscle away. And that's the thing you want in your old age. So it's a bit of a con, all these machines and all that thing. It's a good thing to have to open up your lungs and all that. The main thing is to build the muscle, which then denses the bones become more dense. So that's what you need to stop osteoporosis and things like that. But that's from weight on the bones, makes them denser. So yeah, it tends to be people do more cardio when they don't actually want to. If I see any more people rolling around on the floor with fucking balls and things like that, yeah, they're rolling here, they're twisting this and that. And you go, would you just lift the fucking weights up? I know you don't want to sweat, but can you not sweat at home? Do just no exercise at home. But yeah, the old gyms are going, or they're getting rid of them one by one. You're starting to get a little of a backlash where little private gyms are opening up now.
People are like, can't we just get an app for this?
Yeah, can we? What was I saying what happened the other day? Oh no, it was you talking about the oranges. Yeah, so you're eating and watching TV on the treadmill.
Watching stuff's fine though.
Yeah, but it's the little grades of, well, you can watch stuff. Well, just have a little orange. Have a little orange.
Why
put your milkshake there.
Why not just sit down?
Yeah, just sit down. Let the running machine do the work. And it's a bit of a cheat anyway, running on a running machine, because you're not actually carrying your weight. You know, the floor's moving underneath you, so you're not really doing what you... But in running on concrete, plus your lungs, breathing all that shit.
Breathing in all that coronavirus.
Yeah, so let's talk about why we really came here. Talk about the coronavirus.
Well,
is that why we really came here?
So
have we? What happened to...
Well, we've got a cut. We've been doing it over an hour.
You don't even know what the time is.
No, I shook it to make sure the seconds are still... I checked it, so is it moving in what I determined as time and space? It seems to be at the right moment. Is it 35 past?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So Elon Musk released his single, didn't he?
Did he?
Yes.
Music?
Yes, a dance track.
What do you mean?
He released a song.
What? Not with him singing?
No, it's like a
dance
EDM song. Yeah.
What does EDM mean?
Electronic dance music.
Why has he done that?
Because he's a
trillionaire and can do what he likes.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't know. Yeah, because he's a trillionaire, like dad, a weirdo dad, isn't he? So it's,
I don't know. Did you see
he's having a breakdown, isn't he?
Of him throwing the thing through the car window.
Yeah, it definitely worked when we did it behind the scenes. Yeah, of course it did.
Of course it did, love. Yeah.
You must have, I don't know what the answer was for that. Surely you've done that before.
I think they did release a video of them doing it behind the scenes, to be fair, where they had, but the point was, the time they did it behind the scenes, that were fine, but then that weekend it. So they could only...
Not on the same car, surely.
I think it was, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder if the heat, or maybe it must have been something to do with temperature.
Yeah, it was like, we've still had thousands of orders for these. Yeah, from other rich tospots.
Yeah. But then the thing about it pulling another car up, it said, well, it doesn't work like that.
Doesn't a Land Rover do that?
No, it was saying it will pull another whatever the Nissan whatever up a hill if that was going that way. Go but
why?
No, but the thing was one's rear wheel drive and one's front wheel drive, so the balance is off. That's why it will do it. But then I think somebody from the company said, "All right, let's do it on a flat road. Let's do it."
But what was it? But what for? What's the point of that?
To prove how powerful it was. It had like one powerful Jeep. It said we will be able to have that powerful Jeep going that way, and we'll go uphill, and we'll be able to pull it backwards. And somebody said, yeah, but that's a front wheel and yours is a rear wheel, and you're at the angle. That means the weight will be off his wheels and on your wheels. So
but what's that? I don't understand what it's for.
To show that, this is how powerful the van is.
You think your Jeep's cool? Well, this is even cooler.
Yeah, but it doesn't work.
It looks awful, doesn't it?
It does.
It looks like...
It looks like the
It's a concept car
in Batman Begins. You know, the Tumbler.
Yeah, the Tumbler.
Yeah, it looks a bit like that.
And do you see the inside? It's going to be like one of those Hummers. You just go, this is shit, I wouldn't want to sit in this.
No, it looks like some kind of weird futuristic tank thing or something.
I bet Schwarzenegger's got one. Or has one on order.
Who?
Schwarzenegger.
No, he's into his gas now, isn't he? Like the hybrids and all that.
Yeah, he used to drive around a Humvee, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He jumped on the bandwagon to be...
Yeah, but he has to have a big car. He can't look in it being a normal car. It look like he's in a toy car.
Like a mini, yeah.
But then he's got arms sticking out the window.
It came out that he was quite ahead of all the... he wanted like electric stations to charge cars like the whole way through California.
Yeah.
But as he realised when he got in politics, nobody gives a shit about fairness and all that, and they're just fighting you for the sake that they're not in your party. So he said, this is fucking bollocks. Like, nobody's trying to help anyone here. They're just fighting.
I'm fairly positive because you see more and more of those charging stations.
Yeah, you do see
them. And I think that's
all empty. So there's plenty of parking spaces and nobody's using them.
Yeah, well, I think you build the infrastructure. You build it and they will come. You build the infrastructure and people will start using it. I think so.
Well, they've been building a lot of the bicycle lanes right around North London, like for 4 or 5 years ago. And I look, so thinking, please somebody use these things so I can feel a bit better about all the roadworks that were here for years. And every now and then I just hear ding ding. And some bloke on his own at night time going on down them, like, was this worth it? You could think, come on, people, do something. You can't just go, there's the roads, get on with it. You've got to free bikes. How much does a bike cost? A cheap bike. Give free fucking bikes out. Okay. Do something.
They are turning the M4 motorway into a smart motorway. Oh, yeah. It's costing 19 billion.
Haven't loads of people died on this smart motorway?
No, they are. Yes, they start to rack up the bodies.
Why?
Because they've taken out the safety lane.
The hard shoulder.
The hard shoulder. Turn that into a lane. So if you break down or any accident happens, you're completely fucked.
I had to do a smart motorway course. I got done speeding, and I got done.
Sorry, we should have acted more shocked there, shouldn't we? Oh, wow.
Okay.
So I had to do, and it was interesting the way it was done. So when you get to, I've done a few times for speeding, but depending on where you speed, you get to do a different course.
What?
But I didn't know this, so I got done speeding on the normal road.
Right.
And they say if it's not like a ridiculous amount of speed over, you can either get the points or you can go and do the course.
How much over were you?
Oh, no, you're talking 10, 15 miles an hour. So I did the course, and they teach you about braking.
Sorry, you were 10 or 15 miles per hour over.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
That's nothing. Get the fuck. Yeah, they're lucky they got me on that day. But anyway, so...
Said as a joke.
Yeah, but I mean,
speeding kills, guys.
Nobody drives around at the speed. So this is a delusion. But anyway, if they do, they're getting in the way of everybody else. So... I did this course.
All those people on the zebra crossing.
And they teach you about... No, it's the zebra crossing. They teach you about braking distances and all this and how you judge and the laws and the thing and the different types of road and all that. Anyway, so I did the course. So I didn't get the points. And then I was speeding again on the motorway. And I thought, shit, I think it's got to be 3 years or something. It doesn't... And so I had to... They gave me to do the course again. And I thought, oh, fuck. Because where the places were, I had to go back to the same place. And it was Mr. Yang. There was two of the guys that two of the courses.
Thinking like Mr. Chen from a.
But I was thinking, shit, it's even the same guy. And that's a year or so
after.
Shake
his head at you.
So I went in. I made sure I sat at the back. And funny enough, when I relaxed after about an hour, we all had name badges, and I'd put the name of the podcast on the badge. So he started calling me.
Shameless.
There's only about 10 people, but I thought one of them's gonna, it might be an executive producer from somewhere. Because the thing is, it's quite egalitarian. Because it's all sort of like you're not allowed to use cameras in there. Because they say sometimes there's like famous people in there. They haven't got no right.
Did you see any famous people?
I don't know who anybody is anyway. So
that's true.
I saw somebody walking in the mirror.
Sat next to Prince Charles.
I think I was the most famous.
Right. Okay.
Probably.
Most delusional.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was speaking to the other people at the table and go, oh, what happened to you? And I suddenly realised, they'd got done on the motorway as well. I think we can't all be speeding on the motorway. And then I thought, the guy said at the end, which is sort of good, but not. He said, oh, no, everyone here is for motorway speeding. The last course that I went on was for residential road speeding. And what happens is, as long as you don't get caught done on the same road speeding, you can get to do the points. And their thinking is, they're not actually they don't want to give you the points. What they're trying to do is force people to go on these courses because they're actually quite good. So I'm glad I actually went on them. You'd think, oh, fuck, I've got to do this. And then when you're there, you go, oh, it's quite interesting.
Is it like a little sort of top-up refresher kind
of? So they're using the points as a way to get you to do these courses because you do actually learn on them. It's funny. And the motorway one we went on, they're talking about the smart motorways. They're trying to manage the whole of the motorway as one thing, not in little bits. So it's about management of pollution and braking, and they say like he said a question. He said what goes backwards on the motorway at 13 miles an hour, something like that, and it's a traffic jam. He said what happens is, and they show on a scale on a diagram, computerized diagram, somebody breaks backwards. And it can go up to 20 miles from one person braking once. Mm-hmm. And he said, if there's an accident, you don't drive, do you? You don't. Yeah. So what happens is now they judge the motorway as a whole thing. And it's to do with pollution as well. Like they don't want people accelerating here and not there and blah, blah, blah. So they try to make it a constant smooth thing. So if there's an accident 5 miles down the road, the people within a mile, it will say 60 miles an hour. The people behind them, it will go flash up at 50, and behind them it will go to 40. Because the idea is to constantly keep everything moving smooth. And the hard shoulders that they have is where you pull off now. There's no phone. When you pull into that lane, it breaks a laser, which then automatically goes to the next camera up. Okay. And what happens is also sometimes you'll see like an X on the motorway, and there's nothing there, like a lane. It's just an X, which means you can't go in this lane. And what that is there might be somebody trying to pull out of a lane like 2 miles down, so they close that lane off like a mile back so you can pull out without having to wait for cars zooming past you. So the whole thing's managed. That's what the smart motorway is, to manage to make sure it's all keeping smooth. Okay. And a lot of it, he said, is to do with pollution. He said this braking and stopping, and it says it creates massive loads of, because that traffic jam that might be somebody broke once or was there an hour ago will still be there with people stopping and accelerating, and it creates a massive load of pollution in that area. And it's to do with times of the day and the wind and all that. But I thought, it's quite a good thing. They're going to expand it.
Okay, that now you've explained it, because it just seemed a bit counterintuitive, really. It didn't seem very safe.
Yeah, well, the idea with it, it's the safer part of the road. They will open up the hard shoulder so you can use there, okay. But everything's cameraed. So if there is any problems, they're automatically notified. You don't have to get out and find a phone. They know straight away, and somebody's sent to deal with it right there and then. And if there is somebody that goes into the hard lane and breaks down, they will then close all that lane off for like miles back with the X's, so it's a clear lane for the emergency service. Okay. So it's managed. It's really, really smart.
So that is clever, yeah. Because my quibble with it was just for the M4 alone, it was costing 19 billion, which seems
I think they're
a lot of.
At money. Least they're thinking in terms. I think most of it is the pollution thing that's driving it. They kept going on about that all this braking and stopping and starting and braking. Like it builds up a massive load of pollution in one area, and said it takes a long, long time. I think it said 3 days for that pollution to dissipate. It just travels, so it's all. But yes, it's always quite smart. But so if you're going to get done speeding, you can do the course. And I think I've got one more road. I think it's an A road, but if I speed on there.
But obviously, kids, the message is don't speed.
Don't speed ridiculously. I'm going to say people that stick to the speed limit
responsibly.
No, because the thing is that the world, everybody knows how to drive sensibly. It's the laws that fuck things up. So when you've got everybody driving sensibly, and then there's some arsehole on the motorway in the fast lane stuck at 70, now everyone's having to go round them because you're doing this stupid thing. What's the law? Well, the law's a fucking idiot. It doesn't know what it's doing. So, like Germany, people can be trusted to drive at the right fucking speeds. Just make sure that they're in their right lanes. Don't be like, well, they're all 70 miles an hour. Try driving around fucking 70 miles an hour on the motorway in the fast lane. You're fucked. You're just going to have people up your arse the whole fucking time. So I don't believe in the laws. The laws are bollocks.
The law is
But drive sensibly. Use your bloody common sense. Don't be speeding over the speed limit as kids in a kid zone or something like that. That's my speeding story.
Yes.
Anything else?
But don't speed, kids.
So you don't drive, you two? No licence? That's mad.
No, I've got a license.
I suppose you live in
Don't
London,
drive,
don't you?
Yeah.
So you've got a full driving licence?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I haven't driven in
don't
15
years,
years, 14 years. No. I mean, I think I'm going to start driving regularly again. Up lessons just because.
Just get in the bloody car, go around there at night time, get in the Sainsbury's car.
I'm sorry,
park.
how many speed awareness courses have you done?
It's because I can't wait for life. I'm
Yeah,
trying to get
exactly.
everywhere.
Trying to get everywhere. To the grave.
Yeah,
Quick as you
to get
can.
to the grave as fast as
Goodbye,
possible.
cruel world.
No, but it's never dangerous. It's just the technicalities of a speed camera saying you're in the wrong. Well, I'm not. I'll go to do your course, but I'm going to carry on doing that. It doesn't change anything because I'm not doing anything dangerous to start with. This is like the middle of the night, 1 o'clock in the morning.
You were found guilty, but you don't.
Yeah, but I don't abide by the law, so that's
protesting
bollocks.
too much.
Still doing the same thing. Didn't change anything. But I like learning.
It definitely
that
did change things, Your Honour, and he's a changed man.
No. I'll go
Fucking
down.
hell, I'm trying to save
No,
you
I'm not
here.
bothered. I like Socrates, mate. If I have to go down, but I'll go down.
You're
speaking
doing the
truth.
hemlock.
Yeah, I won't do it. Yeah,
fair enough.
But I drive sensibly. Just because the camera goes off doesn't mean fuck all. Like, I was on the way here, right? There's a road, and I hadn't come this way before. Half a mile road, and the speed humps must have been no more than 50 yards each.
Yeah.
Why not make them 100 yards each? You know, every time you brake and you accelerate, brake and accelerate, brake and accelerate,
Yeah.
the pollution that's causing. So what's the boat going to do
Well, it's
between
like when
100 yards? We're going to boot it out for 100 yards.
It's like at times when you come to a crossroads and you're just like, this fucking, no one's moving here.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
everything's on, it's in the weird combo of
Yeah.
red, you know.
So that's the law. That's
Yeah.
the laws
No,
you're
no,
talking about. So I'm not bowing down to that. I drive
Because
sensibly.
I invented the law.
I haven't had any crashes, so there you go. No, but I drive sensibly. Because I drive thinking everyone around me is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So I don't trust that bloke
What
over
are they
there.
all- what
I
are they
don't
all
tr-
thinking?
That person that's walking the dog, I don't trust them that they're in control of that dog. So I'm
Yeah.
on hyper alert the whole time. So my paradigm of driving so far is the best way to be.
Yeah.
Not some fucking arsehole that can't drive. These people on the roads, they can't park. They're driving so perfectly that they don't know what they're doing, that they're causing problems. Like sitting on the motorway at 70 miles an hour.
Power, Charles,
Okay.
finally.
I was just-
Revolution, I'm back.
Oh, no. I thought that was our moment.
My
We-
mate got done for drink driving.
See, that's terrible. That's
Yeah, because he was driving along. He was driving along, leaning out the window, screaming at people.
Oh, it gets worse.
And throwing beer bottles at old people.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's not even funny. That's just a fucking arsehole.
Yeah, they were.
Spaghetti man.
No. They were on their way to buy more booze at the 24
I haven't got enough yet.
I mean, I'm just like, what
like
a
pissed
dickhead.
out their faces.
But why throw the bottle out? It's not like
He
you're
was
throwing
like,
it out
"Oh,
the car.
fucking dickheads," and just chucked a bottle at some old people.
Oh,
The
old
police pulled him
people.
over, and like another of my
I hope they gave him a fucking hiding.
Yeah.
I really do.
another of my mates was in the car at the time, and he was just like, "Oh,
Oh,
Absolute madness. Like, are
You
we
were-
just going to let that go, Charles?
that's quite annoying. It sounds right, doesn't it? You're locked in a room and you can't do anything. You relax. So I felt the relaxation.
some people go mental, don't they?
I'd be quite happy to be on my own.
Some people just go. Some people
Just
lose
you
it
and the sea.
get really aggressive, don't they? So,
That's all gone.
you ever seen Starred Up?
Yeah.
Start up.
Startup.
Up.
Yeah, that was
Double
really good.
R-E-D.
Yeah, that was very good.
So it's about a young man goes to prison. Jack O'Connell. I don't know why I'm saying actors' names to you. 'Cause it doesn't mean
But
anything.
he's very good.
But yeah, he's so the idea is he goes to prison and he's sort of I hadn't heard the term starred up. What that
I think
means.
it's prison slang, isn't it? But
Yeah.
he's a young
Double R-E-D starred.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a young offender
Famous.
who gets pushed up to an adult facility for assaulting a prison guard, basically.
And it's where his father's in the same prison, isn't it? As
Do
well?
they wear stars or something? He gets more stars.
I think it's to do with sort of being that, you know, you're trying to cause trouble.
Yeah, You're like you're a bit of a celebrity prisoner then because you're sold to you because they only do that with like real fuck ups basically. They only put like
I suppose it could maybe
young offenders in adult prisons when they're just being fuck ups.
Yeah, it could actually maybe it's to do with moving up a category. So maybe they start up your perhaps because they don't quite explain.
It's got to be a term within the prison. So,
yeah, they just use it and they don't know. At no point does Basil Exposition come along to explain what it means. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of took it in the film to mean I suppose that he moved up, but also that he's wanting to be.
So what was this? What was he talking?
Starred up?
Because
it's a prison drama.
It's a prison drama, and it's and it has lots of scenes of him just being in the cell by himself.
Oh, you must have spent the night in the cell.
No,
all these weirdos you hang about with.
What an odd. I mean, I'm sure you've had to go pick up plenty of your friends from prison.
There was one guy who didn't come back, and we were all like, "Oh, he's either dead or in prison." Ha 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 ha. And then like he came back like next day. He's like, "Oh no, I was in prison." And we were like, oh, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense."
Was it the guy who threw bottles at people?
Yes, it was. Yeah,
I don't want to be pro police brutality, but at that point you're like, you know what? Just get out the nightsticks, give him a.
Yes, even if you were to shout at them to throw something and an old
and be drunk driving as well. I'm like
on the way to get more because I'm not drunk enough.
No, it was a different time. He was very drunk and he went to see his then girlfriend at the time, but she was asleep, so he broke into her house, and then stumbled around drunk around their living room, found this girl's house. She was living with her parents as well, I think.
That's what I was.
And he was sort of stumbling around the house, sat down over a fag, and then he gets a phone call, and it's from the girlfriend, and she's like, "Oh Jesus Christ, someone's broken into our house. I think they're downstairs. I can hear him crashing around." And he's so drunk, he's like, "Oh my God, that's terrible. Where are you? I'll come and help you. I'll fuck this dude up." And then he looks around, and then he's just like, "Oh, I'll get back to you later." Puts the phone away. Here's loads of sirens. It's the police. So he's like, "Fuck." I think he picked up a paving slab and threw it through the window.
Oh my God.
And then he's like, "Shit." So he realised what he's done. He runs out the back, jumps over the back wall. The police record. There's an officer waiting for him around the back in the alley. Nabs him. Arrests him, sends him home.
So would she get done? He get done?
He got done, yeah. He got a restraining order.
Did they break up?
She actually got a restraining order on him, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Because I read the police documents.
One of the most pathetic...
there's a caveat to that, because he was out a couple of weeks later and he was chatting up some lady, and she was like, "Oh, I'm a police officer." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then she's like, "I think I recognise you."
Was it that big a story?
That's but like...
Yeah, but then you live in a village with 10 people,
all
of whom are criminals. Oh, okay.
This is next to when I was at uni. And then, he realised that she was one of the arresting officers, and she was arrested him out in the alleyway, yeah.
But the police they don't live in the area. He still tried
to get a number as well.
Well, it's easy.
It's on the shoulder.
They had a cute, a good meet cute there, didn't they? So
I know a copper, and he's just pissed off with it. He's only been in it about 3 years, and he said you're just running from one place to the next. It's East London as well. He said just running from nothing gets solved. You just think you're halfway doing something else. You have to run there, and something you're just chasing your fucking tail. And him and his missus, what does she do? Oh, she works in events, and said they can't get a mortgage. Like they don't earn enough. I'm thinking, fucking hell, like fucking joke that is.
Well, that's London, isn't it?
Should we end on there? Is there anything happy? Anything nice going on?
No, we live in a godless, chaotic universe. Goodbye, everyone. No, we don't. Hold on. Don't say goodbye. Anything happy?
Got a new job?
No, I'll say that for next week.
Okay. Oh, okay, fair enough.
I got a good one.
That's it.
Got a good
one. God. I can start that off nice and cheery.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
On other news, the Senate in America, democracy died this week, so that's a nice little turn of events. One step to the fall of Rome.
Yeah.
One step to the first galactic empire.
That kind of makes sense. There wouldn't be such a big...
I can see all that, Mitch McConnell eventually just carrying him on their shoulders, like on their Rome. Yeah. But the thing is, he don't stabilise. People like that, if they get away with stuff, they then think, oh, I can go worse.
Yeah.
It doesn't stay the same. So he now been emboldened to do more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's that.
I'm sure you said, what should we end on a cheerful note? You're like, Trump is
more of a nihilist. I thought
just
remind people how terrible it is out there.
Yeah. So you must come back to enjoy the warm glow of Vialucci podcast.
Yeah. My tip would be become a billionaire. It's a lot easier when you're a
It
billionaire.
is, yes.
The rules don't apply.
Our top tip, that's on the page 1 of the personal development. Become a billionaire.
Contracts mean nothing.
Yeah. Stop being poor.
Yeah.
See, that's my advice.
Poor.
Don't be poor.
Well, it's what they call it. The rich. It's good to be rich. Shit.
Anyway, that's a good one. Yeah, quick.
Got any jokes? What was the joke? I tried to parrot your joke. I keep saying I forgot what the joke was. It was a good joke. You told me in Charles once. Have you got a go-to joke?
Have I got a go-to joke?
Because you said a joke and then it was quite funny, and I tried to remember. I've forgotten. I had one word, and
asking me to repeat all the hilarious things I've said on the show.
It was a few weeks ago. You said a joke, but I don't know what reference it was. You must have recently heard it. Do you remember it?
No. I don't remember anything. I'm like the Memento guy. I wake up every day and...
Is that the one? Where's the metal helmet? No?
That's Magneto.
Oh, who's Memento?
Memento is the guy who has a brain injury and doesn't have any short-term memory, basically.
It's you, basically.
And like...
What costume does he wear?
And like he just has to wake up and just kind of just piece his life together in little bits and just go, okay, I'm apparently a dude and I'm in...
But what's his superpower?
He has no superpower. This isn't the superpower.
Memento? He's got a name called Memento?
No, he's not...
Oh.
No, it's the name
called Memento.
Oh, it's a film.
It's a film.
Memento, you know, like a memento.
Guy Pearson.
Yeah.
It's a good film. It's a good film.
What's the... No, let's just finish.
Never mind.
On that, what it was.
You won't remember anyway. So.
Remember what? Something about cars.
We've actually just recorded the same show over and over again.
All right, well, that was the show.
Yeah.
See you later.
That was that was the show.
More next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.